Easily one of my most anticipated movies of 2019 and the capper of the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, featuring the first two films, which were absolutely phenomenal. Will How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World disappoint? Let's find out. What's up, it's Film Frenzy here, and I just saw an early screening of How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World, so I'm here right now to talk about it, starting with my first category, direction and visuals. So I'm going to start out with easily its strongest category, and I'm going to make a very bold statement by saying How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is the most visually stunning animated film of all time. Yes, even more so than Moana, which was previously I just thought was amazing. The things they do with the water. This one takes it to the next level. Some of these natural elements you see, like there's this waterfall you see going into the hidden world. It looks like a real life waterfall. It's insane, the animation. The characters move so gracefully. There's so much details, like the small hairs on Hiccup's chin. The action sequences are amazing. A big part of the film is the courtship happening between Toothless and the Light Fury, and it is just beautiful to watch them soaring through these storm clouds and lightning coming through. And when you finally see the hidden world, it's absolutely beautiful. It blows any expectations you had of it just out of the water. The movie is absolutely beautiful just to look at. It is just so phenomenal and just really makes the movie that much more enjoyable because of the beauty of the images and just how amazing the animation is. Animation really has come such a long way with CGI animation. Even just going back to the original Toy Story, you see the difference. It's amazing. And How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World easily gets a 5 out of 5 for direction and visuals. Absolutely phenomenal. Couldn't be any better. Up next, it's time to talk about acting and character development. So first I'm going to cover the voice acting, and it's just fine. It's nothing that'll blow you out of the water, but usually voice acting isn't something that's oh my god, this is amazing. Sometimes it is, and in those cases it's really special. Here, it's just sufficient. None of it is just going to make you think, oh my god, these voice actors are amazing, so believable, but they never take you away from the character. They've been doing this for 2 previous films, so they know their parts well, and they're all well casted, the characters, so the voice acting is very, very well done. And the character development, so for Hiccup, I think it's very good about him just learning to just be himself and realize he's his own person that doesn't necessarily need to be attached to Toothless. So in a way, it's a little bit of a late coming of age tale. It's a 3-part coming of age tale, these movies. I think that's really smart. The character development of Hiccup throughout the film is very, very well done. Maybe they hit you a little bit over the head with the themes with him, which I'll talk later in my final section. But it's still just very, very great job of showing how he realizes his own true potential and stops doubting himself and realizes that he can have a life outside of Toothless. So I think that's just a smart point, a very mature point they bring through. So his character is very just well developed and has a great arc throughout the film. But besides that, there's really no other character with any arc. I can't say there's any just development from the beginning to the end of the film for any of the other characters. The villain is very, very basically developed. Not at all. It's kind of pathetic. It just feels like a retread of the second movie in terms of the villain department, so that was super disappointing. And the other characters, they're great characters from previous films, but they just plant them in here. They don't really do anything with them. So that was very, very disappointing. Maybe a little bit with Toothless about showing him with a romantic relationship, but there's not much there. I'm giving this a 3 out of 5, mostly because of Hiccup's phenomenal arc and some solid voice acting. My final and most important category includes the story elements, plot pacing, script, and theme. My gripes with this plot really go back to its unoriginality. It feels so much like a retread of How to Train Your Dragon 2, and I think that's just really unfortunate because How to Train Your Dragon 2 in itself wasn't so original from the first How to Train Your Dragon. Sure, it was different enough, and I thought it was still a great movie, but this one isn't even different much at all, except just a worse version of How to Train Your Dragon 2. It feels just very simplistic, like they're just trying to find a new place for them to live, and there's guys trying to hunt the dragons. It's just another one of those, oh, most of the humans are wanting to hunt the dragons, while Burke, they want to have the dragons as kind of like pets and as friends. And it just feels just so retreaded and just not even offering anything new to the table. And for the capper of such a big trilogy to just be like this, it's just very upsetting. The plot, I feel like, it's just things are way too easy for them when they're doing their different goals and stuff. Finding the hidden world felt way too easy. Finding their way out of it and back to that random island they found, just way too easy. It felt like they just took a lot of shortcuts, the writers, and it was very weak writing, which leads into script, and I thought this script was so much worse than the other two. Like, there was a lot of jokes in this film, but I felt almost none of them landed. It felt very childish, and overall, this movie felt way more like a kid's movie than the previous two, which is unfortunate, because these were always, like, the more mature family films, and they're just really disappointing in that regards. And there were so many running gags throughout the film that were just not funny at all. And really none of the side plots were very good at all. It was really just the main plot was pretty solid, like I previously mentioned, with the character arc of Hiccup. And the pacing, I do have to give it credit for that. It felt like it just was very steady throughout. It didn't like just slow down or suddenly speed up. And it did feel a lot longer than it actually is. It's about an hour and 45 minutes, but that's not due to the pacing, that's just due to a weak, very unoriginal plot, and just not a very good script at all. It's not a very engaging one. Their lines feel just very generic and hokey, and I feel like it really just, you try to hit the theme way too much on the head, and that leads into theme, because the script is very weak, and that means a weak theme, because even though it's nice about having like Hiccup, like I said before, he's like finding that he can be great in himself. He doesn't need Toothless just to be this great leader. He can lead on his own, and it's a very sweet tale in that regards, but they have to just mention over and over again, like probably at least 5 times throughout the film, and they say the exact thing that I just said. Like, you're not supposed to just say a theme right word for word just like that, and it really just goes back to that weak script. That weak script makes the entire film so much worse. Even if it had a generic plot, a really sharp script would still save it from being a mediocre movie. It would actually be really great. There's so many movies that are mediocre plots, but end up being really great just because of that awesome script. But the humor doesn't really land well, and the dramatic moments feel a little bit canned in. So that leads me to my plot pacing script score of a mere 2.5 out of 5. I'm very sad that I'm giving this film such a low score, but I really don't think it warrants anything higher in the story elements category. And overall, unfortunately, I feel like this movie is just kind of done half-hearted. Like, they just had great characters and some 2 great films, so they just plopped them into a retread of the second movie's plot and just hope for the best. And right now, critics are really buying it. It's at 99%, so I was going in with high expectations. I love the first 2 movies, 2 of my favorite animated films. If you watch my most anticipated movies of 2019 list, this came in at number 3. And in such a big year, that's super high. And sadly, I was so disappointed. And I hate when movies like this disappoint me. I really was hoping for an amazing watch, but unfortunately, it was really just the visuals that stood out. The rest of it, so generic and mediocre, so I'm giving it, for my overall score, a 3 out of 5. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Make sure to like and subscribe for awesome film videos and tons more coming soon as I prepare some more Oscars videos, as that's really heating up. So thank you for watching. Film Frenzy signing off. Bye.